Karmelo Anthony has been indicted on first-degree murder. This has a lot of people eating crow this morning. Let's get it.
At the end of the day, you're going to have to just accept that people of color, we get to defend ourselves too.
He was being held, bond against him for defending himself.
It's crazy to me how everyone in Texas is all about stand your ground and self-defense until that person doesn't look like me. This case is racially charged.
That's self-defense. Y'all might not like the method, but at the end of the day, had these boys kept their hands to themselves, he would still be here.
Tragic that you had to protect yourself at a track meet.
Karmelo defended himself.
Now that there's a black Texan teenager defending himself against the two white bullies, now y'all don't know what self-defense.
The stabbing to the medical response to then the beginning of the police investigation.
And it lasted several minutes is what they showed you.
It did, about 30 minutes.
All right, guys, the moment that they told us there was actually video of this incident and it was not released, I knew right then that this was going to look really bad for Karmelo Anthony. Let's keep it rolling.
SD is releasing surveillance video of the stabbing at the track meet that led to the death of a student back in April, but only under very strict conditions. So through open records, they will allow whoever requests it to view that video, but no recording whatsoever is allowed.
It shows everything from the moments leading up to the stabbing to the medical response to then the beginning of the police investigation.
And it lasted several minutes is what they showed.
It did, about 30 minutes.
All right, guys, you're watching On Air with Nick Driver podcast here on YouTube. Please like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and you'll be notified of all my upcoming video releases. Guys, just like I mentioned earlier, I knew the moment they did not release this videotape that we were looking at something that was probably, pretty damning to Karmelo Anthony. Now, if we go back and look at history of what has happened over the last few years, the moment you had the police cam footage of George Floyd, with that entire situation happen, it was out there immediately on cell phones. There were people there that recorded it on their cell phones, supposedly so far. And the school had actual footage of what happened with the incident with Karmelo Anthony and the Metcalf youngster as well. So Karmelo Anthony will be tried in a court of law as an adult and has been indicted on first-degree murder. So, that max sentences could possibly be up to 99 years in prison, which, we have to see how everything ends up turning out. The footage has leaked, supposedly. I have not, as of yet, had the time to get online and really dig down into deep Twitter and see what that actually looks like. I'm going to wait until, we have a little bit more information regarding this and try to look at it from the court system side of it. The craziest part about this was the judge that actually lowered Karmelo Anthony's bail to $250,000 from $1 million. I thought that was something that really set off this firestorm when it comes to the internet of people giving him money, and all of these people on the other side that really just hate white people come out and say it was definitely, the Metcalf kid's fault. He's being indicted on first-degree murder. We're going to have to see how this plays out in court. If the footage is anything like everything I've read, he's probably going to prison for the rest of his life. And the sad part about this is, both sets of parents have initially lost their kids in this instance. Let's check out Greg Willis, the Collin County District Attorney, talk a little bit more about this situation. Let's get it.
Good afternoon. Earlier this spring, our community was shaken by what happened at a school track meet in Frisco. The violent loss of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. For weeks now, my team has been presenting evidence to the grand jury, and today I summarized that evidence, and I asked the grand jury to return a first-degree murder indictment against Karmelo Anthony, which they did. With this indictment, the case now moves formally into the court system. From this point forward, we'll continue doing our job both fully and fairly to pursue justice under the law. As for the scheduling of the trial, that will be up to the court. But when the time comes, we will be ready. Now, we know that this case has struck a deep nerve here in Collin County and beyond. And that's understandable. When something like this happens at a school event, it shakes people to the core. But let's remember that the justice system works best when it moves with steadiness and principle. That's what we're committed to, and that's what this case deserves. We're also mindful of Austin's family and everyone who loved him. Please keep them in your thoughts, and if you're willing, your prayers as well. Finally, let's remember that a defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.
Today's indictment of Karmelo Anthony is an expected and routine step in the legal process. An indictment is a procedural step that happens in virtually every felony criminal case. It's a document that lays out for both the prosecution and the defense what the prosecution must prove beyond a reasonable doubt in court. An indictment simply means that a grand jury, after hearing only the prosecution side of the story, determined that there was enough evidence to allow the case to move forward to court. That's all an indictment means. Karmelo and his family are confident in the justice system and the people of Collin County to be fair and impartial. Of course, Karmelo looks forward to his day in court. It's only in a trial that a jury will hear the full story, one that includes critical facts and context that the grand jury simply didn't get to hear. It's only in a trial that both sides get to present evidence and cross-examine each other's witnesses.
All right, guys, so there you go. We heard from the district attorney right there, and we also heard from Mike Howard, who's going to be Karmelo Anthony's attorney in this trial. You know, the crazy thing to me about this is, you know, the idea of the footage out there, and every source that I have seen, regardless of their political narrative, has said that it's pretty damning to Karmelo Anthony. And, you know, the crazy thing to me is you can kind of read between the lines of some of these things. And I do think everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty. I do believe that. But in our modern day society, it's very easy to see how these things work and how these things connect. You know, if this had been someone, if the shoe had been on the other foot, for example, and you had a white kid that had stabbed a young black man, we would all see the footage, you know, about 3 minutes after it happened, about 2 minutes after it happened. So the idea that we didn't see the footage tells me right there, I'm not going to say Karmelo is not, you know, I don't want to say too much here. I want to see how the court plays this out. And we are going to be covering it here on this channel as it comes out and more information comes out on this. But it kind of tells me right there, there's been too many news articles that I've covered where this is a pattern to where they're almost trying to block, you know, the actual information that is coming out, but it always ends up coming out. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. You take care. You watch your own Nick Driver podcast here on YouTube. Please like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified of all my upcoming video releases. Hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day. See you later.